Okay. It is Crypto Faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless, guys. Back at it again. You guys already know what it is. Go ahead, like up the video. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed today. We got another Zen and X1 update. We got utility for Zen. We got a new video, a new interview with Jack Levin, Mr. Cypherius Prime himself. We got a lot going on today. But first, let's get into the wider market as usual. We have Bitcoin sitting at 65,100, having a little bit of a jump today, 5% little pump into the halving. Yes, I said the halving. We are having the Bitcoin halving in less than what, 11, 10 hours? It's today, right? Today marks the catalyst of all catalysts, the catalyst that will push this market up and give us gains that we have never seen before. Remember, the Bitcoin bull run starts at the halving. The Bitcoin bull run doesn't start like later on. The Bitcoin bull run doesn't start like, you know what I'm saying, like before the halving. Everything that happened already, that's preseason gains. I always tell you guys, expect the most gains after the halving. So what are we having? What do we have that we expect in the coming year and a half? So we have a year and a half or more of up only price action. I don't mean that we're about to have, tomorrow, today. I don't mean next week. I mean the months after the halving, the next year and a half is going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. You know, then just looking back at every other bull market, it's just the way it has been, right? We have the 2024, which is the halving year, which we expect to see great gains. We have 2025, which is the all-time high year. You can also call it the blow-off top year, which we expect more great gains. Like, that's the 4-year cycle, and we have no reason to believe that the 4-year cycle is not going to happen. We don't actually have any reason to believe that the 4-year cycle is not going to happen because we've been following it, consistently every single cycle. Now, we did get a brief moment where we popped up above the old all-time high to 73K, and way too early. Like, we don't usually pass the old all-time high until after the halving, but it was a fake out, right? We did not stay above the old all-time high for any significant period of time, which means it was a little fake out. So the theory of the accelerated cycle is kind of, I wouldn't give it credence at the moment. I would say that we are following the 4-year cycle that we always have. I would say that because the halving is today and we're still underneath the old all-time high of 69K, that means that we're following, we're being consistent with the 4-year cycle. With every single bull cycle that we have ever seen, we usually pass the old all-time high after the halving. So, expect us to break through the old all-time high sometime in the next few weeks, sometime in the next month, and then break it, like really actually break it, and stay above the old all-time high. And then it's just fireworks from there, guys. We're going to have upward action in Bitcoin. We're going to have upward action in the altcoins. It's going to be not only, it's not going to be all together. We're going to have Bitcoin seasons, we're going to have alt seasons, and Bitcoin seasons and alt seasons, right? It's a fluctuating thing. If you've been around in these markets, you know that. But yeah, expect the next year and a half to 2 years to be very, very, very interesting. Life-changing gains, guys, coming our way. All right. Anyway, let us get into today's video, which is about Zen and X1 and Jack Levin's new interview that he did with, I forget the name of the channel, but I will link I'll link the video below, the interview, right? So you can watch the whole interview. But the interview was so bullish. It had so much information and little nuggets here and there, that was like a lot of the stuff that we were talking about previously, we got confirmation about. That's the thing that I really want to talk about today. But first, let's get into the interviewer, whoever he is. I don't know who actually, that channel is kind of new to me, but he was asking really good questions. Like, gotta be honest, dude was asking great questions, man. So the first question that he actually asked was about the roadmap. He was like, "What's the roadmap for Zen and X1 for the next 18 months?" And it kind of caught Jack off guard, I think. But he was like, "Listen, X1 mainnet. That's what we're working on right now. X1 mainnet. That's what we're focusing on, and most importantly, the tokenomics for XN. Right, XN being the uh, gas token for X1. Right, he's focusing on the tokenomics, and he mentioned that in the last Spaces call as well. They're trying to finalize the tokenomics behind that, and then they're gonna post it, and everybody can be clear exactly, the tokenomics of XN and how you're gonna get it, and how it's gonna work. But that's very very important. But it's important because it's important to me and to us because you don't actually do that until everything is done, right? That's when everything is done. Everything's all but done. Now we're working on finalizing the tokenomics and then releasing it out to everybody. You know what I mean? You got to be able to look and don't look at what people say, look at their actions. You know what I mean? I've been saying that for the longest now, right? Um, he also talked about the Zen burns, right? How you're going to be able to get XN. We already know you burned Zen in the past for any of the other protocols like DB Zen or any other Zen ecosystem play. You burn it in the past, you get burn credit record. But he didn't actually mention the burn credits. He actually said airdrops, which is something that confused me personally. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comment section if I'm just maybe I'm the only one confused. But he did in the past mention the fact that if you've burned for Zen in the past, it's going to go onto your burn credits. And then you can use those burn credits or like points as a point system. And then you can use those credits to eventually, I guess, like, participate in the moon auctions, right? Participate in the moon party auctions or whatever, right? So that was kind of the thing. And, he didn't say that there. He said airdrops, right? So, I'm all for airdrops. I like airdrops. It's a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? We burn, boom, get an airdrop. It's in your wallet, right? I like that. But I don't know. Maybe this is a pre-recorded interview from a long time ago. I don't really know, but maybe we'll get more clarification about that. And like I said, let me know in the comments if I'm confused. All right, so boom, he talked about Zen NFTs. He talked about the multipliers for the different classes of NFTs. Like if you're into Zen NFTs, and there's different classes of Zen NFTs that you got. If you're going to be burning those to get into XN, then of course maybe they're working on the multipliers for the different classes, right? Because they're not all worth the same thing, right? He did speak about the native liquid staking. Okay, he spoke about native liquid staking, and the fact that you stake your ETH and you get X ETH, right? And then you can take that X ETH and then stake it in other protocols like EigenLayer or whatever. Interesting thing, they got some new tech. The good thing about Jack is always bringing new tech, right? The new tech that he's bringing is about merged yield. They call it merged yield, where they're gonna have Lido styled yield plus Zen yield. You can get into the details of that. He mentioned it in the interview. But yeah, I mean, Jack's always bringing in new technology. That's the main thing I like about the Zen ecosystem and the X1 ecosystem is new tech. It's not more of the same. It's like all new tech, right? Talks about it in the interview. Go watch the interview. I'm just hitting the main points, right? The next question he asked, which is a very good question, he said, "What is the number one reason people would come into X1?" Right? So Jack's answer in a nutshell is like, listen, we've got an innovative consensus in the way we set things up, and he actually broke it down in a better way. He said, listen, Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are class one, category one, you can call them, right? Blockchains. You got Cardano, Avalanche, Solana. You can class those as class two or category two. And then you got X1, right? X1, generation three, right? He like X1 is going to be generation three. It's going to be new tech. In a nutshell, right? Just explaining it the crypto faceless fashion. But if you want to actually listen to Jack, he's going to explain it using those big dev words and all those developer words, and right. I'm not going to get into that, but basically, in a nutshell, X1 is going to be new tech. Okay, it's going to be super high speed. It's going to be cheap, but without fragmenting the chain up into pieces. He talked about that. If you want to know the details of that, you can go watch the interview. Of course, I'm going to link it below. Now, yeah, generation three technology, man. It's always bringing something new. You've got the merged yield with the native staking, and then you also have just the consensus thing, and then bro, he's not coming out with a blockchain that's just like the same as all the other blockchains, right? It's going to be new tech, cycle one type stuff, right? Another question, and this was the question of all questions. I love this question because it's something that we've been hitting on the channel and speculating on the channel for a long time. The interviewer said, "What is the incentive for Zen once X1 launches? Right? What is the incentive for Zen once X1 launches?" Now, that's a very very important question because we've been speculating about that for a long time. We talked about Zen being the cache of the Zen ecosystem. Of course, you can use it to get into any of the projects in the Zen ecosystem. That's one utility for Zen. Of course, just recently we had the guys from Base Chain and the guys from Evmos or whatever you however you pronounce that blockchain complaining about Zen taking all of their space, and then Jack came out and said, one of the utilities of Zen is actually a certificate of ownership of block space. So whenever you have Zen, you own. It's like you have the title for ownership on that block space, and then you can trade your Zen to other people that want to buy space on the blockchain, right? So that's an interesting use case as well. But even going past that, I mean, I was speculating for months on the channel. I was like, listen, maybe, right? Maybe because X1 is coming out and X1 is a layer one blockchain. And I said, hey, we're going to have every single project that all the other chains have. We're going to have DeFi. We're going to have meme coins. We're going to have AI. We're going to have, NFT projects, so on and so forth. So I was thinking maybe the first developers on X1 are going to carry that Zen type of fair crypto first principles ethos that the Zen community have. So I was thinking maybe those first projects are going to come out and say, hey, anybody who wants to burn Zen can get an allocation in our projects on X1, right? That was my speculation. I spoke about that a lot on the channel. And Jack just said something very, very similar, slightly different, but very, very similar. And he said that basically he said we eventually or potentially plan to develop more on X1. So once he puts out X1, he plans on developing more on X1. Okay. And he said that we can actually use the Zen ecosystem and give them continuous airdrops, right? So Jack is saying that he's going to continue, or potentially he's going to continue to develop different projects on X1, and then he's going to utilize the Zen community, the Zen holders, okay, those people who have Zen in their wallets, and then airdrop them the tokens, right? He also said that developers coming in will possibly do the same thing, because here's the thing: when you need when you start a crypto, you need an initial community, right? That's why you always see airdrops in all different projects. They're always airdropping different tokens. You think they just want to give out free money? No, that's not what they want to do, but it's marketing, right? It's a marketing technique to get an initial community in your project, and then you can build out from that initial community. That's why projects and cryptos, they always offer airdrops to people who are participating in a related ecosystem, or somehow, some way, you get an airdrop, right? That's the reason for it. And in the X1 blockchain, of the X1 ecosystem, whenever someone is going to start a project in S1, Jack is saying that it's possible that they would just airdrop Zen holders the tokens, because you're getting the initial community there, i.e., you're getting marketing, right? It's free marketing. These are the people that are going to be participating in the X1 blockchain. It's the Zen holders, right? So, that's a huge, that was the best part about the interview for me, because it kind of coincides to what I was thinking about the future use case for Zen. A lot of times we're always asking, what is the future use case for Zen? Like, like after X1, post X1, and this is just another one. Like, we had the blockchain space certificate title of ownership. That's one. The Zen ecosystem cache to get into Zen projects. That's another one. And then this one here is just blows your mind out the water, of potentially getting airdrop after airdrop after airdrop for new projects that are coming out on X1 that need an initial community. And what other community is the best than the Zen holders, right? You can already look on the blockchain, see all the wallets holding Zen, airdrop them tokens, and boom, now they're attached to your coin. They're going to be trading your coin. They're going to be speaking about your coin and your project. It's the best marketing. So that was the most bullish part of the video for me. And there's a lot more in the video. I'm probably gonna have to do a part 2 to that. And even the video, in the title, it says part 1, so there actually might be another part in that video, right, of the interview, like, most likely, right? So expect a part 2 to come out. I might actually make another video about part 1, speaking about the other aspects of what he said. But super duper bullish, man. X1 is on the way. It's all but on the way. Literally practicing for mainnet. That's the first thing Jack said. We're practicing mainnet. And now we have not only information about X1 and how to get it and the details of it, but we also have future utility for Zen. A reason why everybody should want Zen, a reason why everybody should buy Zen, a reason why everybody should hold Zen. You're going to get airdrops in the future for projects that are coming out on X1. Boom, man. That's a bombshell. That interview was a bombshell, man. Anyway, listen, let me know how y'all feel about that. Let me know if I mentioned anything wrong. Let me know if you have a correction. Let me know if you agree, you disagree, you're excited, you're not excited. Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It is Crypto Faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless, guys. I am out.